What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights Endfield reaction. Today we have Rekindled from the newest contingency contract, and I don't know much else about this one at all. I haven't seen any posts or anything about it, really. It's more of a situation where I saw it on my sidebar for a few days in the recommendeds, and then people started asking me to get to it. So here we are, and without further ado, let's go! Okay, that makes sense in the sound design. Rekindled started with flames. Ooh! Whoa! Okay. You can never be entirely sure what genre they're gonna kick off, you know? Great start.
Don't say it's too late to begin again. I keep looping back to the very end. Knees sinking deeper, but I'll revive. All of the
very clean production. Like polished as hell.
Shut the front door, welcome them in. There's chance of a hero beneath your skin. This time around you I may fall.
Reminds me of a lot of bands in this exact scene. Similar genre, similar feel. And just edgy enough to sing to my soul. Fantastic riff.
Shut out the voices inside your head. I'll reach out and take you back from the edge. The battle is calling us to our graves. Beneath the waves,
It's just
fight back to the ending.
Again, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, I got you in my sights.
That's new.
Coming for you. Chaos
Feel a bit more tasteful with the percussion there.
in the struggle, the war wages on. Yeah, we keep fighting until we're all the right. There's no white flag to raise.
Kind of surprised it didn't go halftime there. Still might.
I couldn't run from the fight of my life.
There's time for sure.
Couldn't be a broken blade in the fist fight. Sharper the pen, yeah, the sharper the knife.
What I was gonna say earlier is that it sounds a lot like many bands I've heard, but it's definitely not just following the same exact formula, which is always appreciated.
This time greatness is upon us. We're standing alive.
This could lead into a halftime breakdown. Nope, just back into the chorus. Banger chorus, so I'm not complaining. Ooh, they kind of thinned it out here. They took some of the layers out. Kind of soften it up right before the end. Yep, that's what they chose to do. I'm not even sure exactly what layers they took out. I might have to re-listen to that section, but there was definitely a point right there before that final refrain bit where I noticed the song got a little bit thinner. Not in like a bad way by any means, it just definitely changed the feel of it right there at the end. And I assume, again, that was probably just to back the song off a little bit so it felt better to quit where it did. But it was just like, oh, that's kind of sharp, like it was an aggressive cut. So I'm like, so I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so I did re-listen to that part at the end. I think really all I was hearing was like the vocals switching up because it went to that like choir, like the chorus vocal in the background, and that kind of changed up how things sounded with the doubling of the main vocal kind of being dropped at that point, and it was just like the one, maybe two layers, and there was a lot more of that stack originally for the chorus and everything to add that extra fire into the song, no pun intended. But it's just, that you notice that when you've been listening to as much music as I have, you start to kind of pick out these moments in like the frequencies where it's like, oh, that's different, that's notable. I don't think the average person would probably hear that at all. Also depends heavily on how you're listening, so I don't think it's a bad thing or anything like extreme to really be like, oh, it had that moment in there, it's a bad mix. It's not. It's just a byproduct of how they mixed and moved everything into that final bit. Like I mentioned, it didn't like affect my listening. I just noticed it and I wanted to find out why. It was mostly that, maybe a little bit of like the character of the reverb changing also due to that factor. So there's a lot of reasons as to why, and totally valid ones. Nothing that makes the song worse. It was just a function of how this song was affected by that in that moment. So for this song mostly is like F minor. So we have that and like a B flat minor, and that's just like the two main chords of this song, I would say. There's obviously a lot more than that. It's not just those two, but that is where we focus a lot of the other chords around. We take those two and we expand around what's going on there. The chorus seems to mostly be more of like D flat, E flat, F minor, and then like A flat, maybe goes up to that B flat minor again there and kind of works its way back down. And it just really depends on what's happening in the song at that point. I don't think there's like a super consistent way for that chorus to happen because there's the main chords, and I would say that's these, and then it would just kind of go back down. But I think that A flat is definitely one of those ones that changes the quality of where the song goes. Does it go back down to the E flat, or does it go like up to that B flat minor? And again, that shifts around. So I don't think it's super consistent, mainly because this genre likes to have those moments where it's able to go into a bridge or change up whatever next section's going to be. It's all dependent on where the song's going and how they want to handle that transition. That's why I was kind of surprised there wasn't like a big halftime moment, because I was ready for that this whole time. But at the same time, it's not like it's a requirement for this genre at all. It's just like the lowest common denominator, frankly. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. We all love a good halftime break. I love a good breakdown. But also it's nice like this when a song doesn't do that and it opts for those more emotional like breaks in there, and it chooses to go on the bridge area, and it's like, okay, cool. So here we are, just allowing the emotion to set in a little bit more. Instead of getting angrier, we take a moment to reflect, and that's just a different way of framing the song. But aside from that, this song is pretty simple. Lyrically, this is probably one of the most basic styles that you can write. It's a song saying, hell yeah, we can do this, and that's got very boiled down, very, very watered down version of it, but it's like, okay, that's kind of what you expect out of this genre. It's safe, but it also probably reflects the character. I'm not sure what character this song is supposed to reflect. I heard nothing, like I said in the intro, so I don't know what the context of this song is or who it belongs to or what situation follows, none of that. So I can't really place who would own this one other than maybe a character related to fire. Big shocker there. Wow, really doing my duty here. It's like, this is a song that's like, it's doing everything right, but like I said, it sounds and feels like a lot of huge bands out there right now that have this exact same sound. And again, that's safe, but it's also really fucking good. It's not like they did a bad job. Again, the production, especially of this one, great across the board. It is mixed beautifully. The production is fantastic. The guitars sound great. The vocalist sounds phenomenal. It's just all layered super well, and nothing feels out of place, but also it's not like super experimental either. It's not like they're trying to reinvent the wheel with this one, and that is totally fine. And honestly, I prefer that a lot of the time with these songs. Sometimes hearing a really experimental track out of these games is fantastic, and if it reflects the character very well, go for it. But most of them don't need to do that, and they can be sufficiently supported by a song like this that's just kind of what the general populace would assume the character or moment to be or to need. So here we are, and it's a pretty good song. But this is definitely one of those songs that you would end up on the radio and nobody would notice. They could just hear this and be like, oh wow, this is a great new song. I haven't heard this band yet. And they would add it to their playlist without having any clue. It's just a good track. I do want to say that the drums were really fun in this one, especially at that one section. Nothing really to write home about though. It was just fun, and I like that one moment because it kind of came out of nowhere, and I like those switch ups, but at the same time, nothing in there was like, oh wow, holy shit, they chose to do that pattern, that rhythm, that decision. None of that really happened. So if I was to be very cynical about this one, it would be like a solid passing grade of like, this works. It would be like a B, because it's not like something I would set in the A range of being like, wow, this is changing the dynamics of the musical scape in this game in any way, but also it's not mid or worse, you know? It's not a bad track, and I wouldn't call it mid to the point of like, oh, it's a C, but it's serviceable enough while being safe enough, and I think that plants it safely at the B range. I don't usually rate stuff. I say this whenever I happen to rate things, just trying to get my thoughts out there, but I think that's where this song belongs. It's good. It's definitely playlist worthy, but I've heard other songs that kind of push those boundaries a little bit better in Arknights in general, and Endfield too, that just kind of feel a little bit more punchy, but this has plenty of punch. So don't get me wrong by that like rating in there. It's still a fantastic track. But I think I am done yapping about it, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Arknights or Arknights Endfield, by all means, let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!